Tommy Bryan, our guest as always. Blue Devil head coach Bob Dillard. Coach, Oakland comes in tonight, and it would really be great if we could return the favor the Patriots did to us last year in Week 10.
Yeah, that would it would be nice, Tommy. We went over there last year and they caught us sleeping. They caught us not ready to play, and they really put a pretty good whipping on us. So it'd be nice if we could return the favor.
And it's odd how the situations have turned in the space of 12 months. Oakland a year ago, no hope of the playoffs. Lebanon last year, technically was something to fight for going into that game, and now the roles have just completely turned around.
Yeah, a lot of things can change in 12 months. There's no question about that.
Lebanon goes against an Oakland football team that is coming off a big win last week, and there's no question they'll be charged up. They can earn a playoff berth regardless of what happens anywhere else with a win against us on Friday night.
Yeah, that's true. They're in control of their own destiny, so to speak. If they win, they're in. It doesn't matter what Hendersonville and Mount Juliet does. There is the possibility that if they don't win, that they could still be in the playoffs if it works out the way it should with Mount Juliet and Hendersonville in their favor. So it's not a do or die situation for them, but they have been in a do or die situation for the last 3 weeks, and they've pulled off 3 big wins for them. So they'll be ready to play, and they'll be intense, and Coach Butler will have them pumped up, and they'll be ready to go.
An emotional, jumping around, head slapping kind of football team, Oakland.
Well, football is a game of emotion, and you've got to play with a lot of emotion, and they definitely do that, and that's a result of, I think, the way they're coached. They're coached that way, and they play that way.
Wes Counts comes into the football game as a top quarterback in 5A football, a nice left-handed quarterback.
Yeah, he's a very good quarterback. We've looked at him a lot on film this week. When you think of Wes Counts, you think more of a passer, but he's really a threat running the football too. He doesn't have the speed of an Eric Locke or a Brian Adams like Gallatin has, but he's very elusive. He's tough to sack. He's shifty in the pocket, and he does an excellent job throwing the football. So he definitely poses some problems.
As folks will look at the film and they see the sideline, they're going to see a lot of guys on that Blue Devil sideline. You've moved the 9th grade squad up. They've worked with you this week in practice.
Yeah, they've been out with us all week this week, and we moved some of them up last week, and we went ahead and moved the remainder of them up this week. The main reason we did that was to let those young men get a taste of what varsity football is like, and let them see that some of those guys have a good chance of playing a whole lot of football for us next year, and that way that gives them a little bit to look forward to in the weight room this winter, and if they're thinking, hey, I may have a shot at playing some next year on this football team, I think their work ethic and their attitude will be a lot better in the weight room over the winter.
Well, when you lose 30-something seniors off a football team, there's going to be a lot of spots available.
Yeah, there will be. We've got a lot of holes that we've got to fill and a lot of places that we've got to get questions answered about. So there's definitely some of those young men that have a shot at playing for us next fall.
Folks, stay tuned. Lebanon and Oakland, it's always a hard-hitting football game. Expect nothing else later on as you watch Lebanon and Oakland in the regular season finale. Stay tuned for kickoff. We'll be back after this.
The Bob Dillard pregame show with head coach Lennis Videos in association with Lebanon Cablevision presents Lebanon High School Blue Devil Football 1996. Play-by-play by Clyde Harville. Your commentary brought by Tommy Bryan. Stats by Terry Stafford. And your sideline reporter, John Bryan.
Blue Devil Football is brought to you by Fakes and Hooker, First Bank and Trust, First Baptist Church, Hartman Luggage Company, K.O. Lester's Cash and Carry, Lebanon Cablevision, Lee & Lee, attorney at law. Pardlow Funeral Chapel. Permapipe, a division of Midwestco. Piggly Wiggly. Rochelle McCullough and Alls, attorney at law. Square One Express and Hallmark Drive-Thru Market. TRW Commercial Steering Division and University Medical Center. The linebacker Mark Lucas, Brad Clemens, Hicks, and I believe for Lebanon, Alsop out there with the Blue Devils. And let's send it down there to John for the toss of the coin.
Referee tonight is Bob Gideon. The umpire is Mark Hammontree. I don't know if you got the first two or three. The referee's Bob Gideon. Umpire Gilbert Nye. The head linesman Mark Hammontree. The line judge Randy Ingram. The back judge Corky Cross. And electronic clock operator is Mr. Chuck Johnson. We'll send it to Bob Gideon now, the referee, as he's instructing the teams. The white team has won the toss. They're going to receive the ball, and the Blue Devils will kick it away from the scoreboard side. So they flip the coin, and Oakland has elected to receive.
Thanks, John. We've got our little switches thrown up here now, so we should be able to get that taken care of. Figure by the 10th game I'd get the switches thrown right, but things haven't gone as we've wanted them all year long. The Blue Devils on the football field. Almost 100 dressed out tonight as the freshman team comes up and joins their varsity partners tonight. Lebanon in white helmets, blue jerseys, white football pants, and across the way, the Patriots of Oakland High School. White jerseys, navy blue pants, navy blue helmets, navy blue numerals trimmed in red. Rick Butler, the head coach for the Patriots, and Bob Dillard, head coach for the Blue Devils. We are just moments away from kicking this football game off and getting underway for the regular season finale. And in our conversation with Bob Dillard, he said that this is a new experience for this football program, at least in recent history, the first time in a decade that we haven't been to the playoffs. This 1-8 record has impacted this program, and the guys hopefully will be able to come out with a solid effort tonight, finish on a positive note, perhaps even come up with a win and return the favor that Oakland put on the Blue Devils last year. Lebanon will be kicking off to start the football game. They'll work out of the south end zone. Kicking the football away for Lebanon will be Ryan Stevens. Stevens, a sophomore. Oakland's return unit still bunched together, and now they break the huddle with head coach Rick Butler. Heading deep for the Patriots, Corey Richardson. He will stand inside his 10-yard line, and an up man is Brian Hazelwood. So one man deep to return for the Patriots. And here with the play-by-play call of the regular season finale for the Blue Devils is Clyde Harville.
Okay, Tommy, thanks a lot, and welcome to everybody to Lebanon High School in Oaks Laster Field. It's time to play football. Richardson is deep, and Stevens gets set to kick for the Blue Devils. Season ender, as Tommy just told you, it's all over after tonight for the Blue Devils. They'll either finish the season 2-8 or 1-9, depending on the outcome of this one. Here's Stevens' kick. High and short. It's going to be taken on a fair catch at the 37-yard line. And that's where Oakland will put it in play, as making the grab is Robbie Knight, second-string quarterback for the Oakland Patriots, who's in there on offense, and he'll catch it at the 37, and Oakland will put it in play at that point.
Defensively for Lebanon, Langford and Stafford, your defensive ends. Clemens and Johnson, the tackles. Whitefield, Doug Whitefield, gets the start at noseman. Lucas and Kelly, the two linebackers. Pitt, Greer, Kelly, and Rich in the secondary for Lebanon.
Oakland with a double wide-out formation. Counts as the quarterback. Emerson Williams the fullback, and Counts is back to throw. Looks, fires long downfield. Got a man behind everybody. Complete and dropped. He dropped it. He caught it at the 40, dropped it at the 35. It was touchdown Oakland all the way. as he threw to Philip Michello, and Michello absolutely dropped the football at the Lebanon 35.
Man, he had 6. Lebanon was in a cover 2. 2 safeties sitting back. Joe Preer in the game instead of Greer, starting at one of those corner spots, and Preer nestled in on the hash mark and didn't get over on the far side. Michello had clear sailing, and fortunately for Lebanon, just flat dropped the football.
All right, Oakland will look at a 2 and 10 now from their own 37. Again, the double wideout formation, as I told you a moment ago, flags are going to fly now, and I think this may cost Oakland, but let's see. No, they're going to say Lebanon, I think, lined up on the... Who are they going to get? Kelly out there for lining up? He says, what'd I do? And I think it may be encroachment or lining up.
Must have lined up in the neutral zone.
I think that's what happened. And it'll be 2nd down and 5 now with the football at the Oakland 42-yard line. Counts has got him in the huddle. Trying to set that backfield for you again. Williams the fullback, and the tailback is Corey Richardson. Michello is the flanker, and they go into that double wide out again now with Michello on the right side. And Counts with the long count. Pitches back to his tailback, Richardson. Richardson got a little hole and then is jammed. Boy, somebody stuck him. 47 coming up out of the backfield along with 52 really rammed into Richardson after he gained about a yard.
Nice job by Joe Preer. Lebanon in that cover 2, 2 twin safeties deep. He saw the toss sweep coming, and Preer just came solid to the line of scrimmage and delivered the blow. Nice job by Joe Preer, the senior DB.
That's what you call filling a hole. Boy, did he fill it. 3rd down and 3. Actually, well, yes, call it 3rd and 3. Again, Oakland, same formation. Counts underneath. Handoff to his big fullback. They had him, and now they get him at the 45, and Lebanon's going to stop the drive after a yard gain. They get Emerson Williams. One held him up. He's 5'9", 220, and a senior. But Lebanon knocks him down after a yard gain, and Oakland will have to punt the football away.
Stafford on the stop for Lebanon to kick it away is Wes Counts, and deep to return for Lebanon is Jeremy Rich.
Rich will stand at about his own 32. Now comes up to the 35. And any kind of kick is going to get over their head there. Here is the kick. Now they backpedal. Counts gets a drive away, and Lebanon just going to have to let it roll, and it's going to zip out of bounds, I think, inside the 15. No, they're going to mark it at the 16-yard line. So Lebanon going to take over in the hole at their own 16.
Terry Stafford, what about that kick from Wes Counts?
Tommy, Counts kick started at the Oakland 45, goes out of bounds at the Lebanon 16, so Counts 39 yards on the punt, no return. Lebanon starting on their own 16-yard line.
John, what kind of condition is the field in? I know the field had a lot of rain.
Sure has, Tommy, and it's the wettest field that we played on all year by far. Even the big downpour that we had earlier in the season during the game, it wasn't this wet.
Okay, here come the Blue Devils. They hand it off to the fullback, Reeves, and they jam it up. Reeves may have gotten a yard, possibly 2, to the 18-yard line. Let depend upon the mark. I don't think they're going to give him but the 17. Call it a yard gain. 2nd down and 9 for the Blue Devils as they try to go up the middle with the fullback. And Oakland, with all that beef in the front line there, just jammed that up.
Up front for Lebanon from tackle to tackle, Edric Burns, Chris Hicks, Brad Clemens, Mark Wilson, and Rocky Gann up front.
Lebanon now puts double wideouts left. Hankins and Mike Greer, and back to throw is Pitt. Pitt's firing, and it's broken up. He was going for Mike Greer up at the 34-yard line. That is awfully close to interference, but good defense, I guess. So it's 3rd down and 8, or 3rd down and 9 for the Blue Devils.
Lebanon going with a one-back set, trying to get man coverage out of that Oakland secondary by putting a lot of receivers into the pass route.
And the Blue Devils will be looking at 3rd and long, 3rd and 9, as a matter of fact, from their own, well, the nose of the football out at the 18-yard line. Again, Greer and Hankins go left. Rudd comes to the right. And Oakland's got everybody up pretty tight.